Hey there guys, what is going on? We're back again with another one of the best class setups in Modern Warfare right now. The ISO is always a weapon that kind of gets overlooked. I know it is one of the more recent weapons added to the game, but a lot of people don't really use this too often. It's a little bit of a shame because it is an awful lot of fun to use. Just before we do get into talking about our best ISO class setup here, let's try and get this one to 30 likes. The support from you guys has continued to be absolutely fantastic recently. So if you haven't already done so and you are interested in the best class setups in Modern Warfare, make sure you do hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on, just so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming content. And let's just jump straight into it here. The ISO is a very cool weapon in this game. It's a little bit different to how most weapons sit up normally, but it's still one that's very, very powerful at the same time. Now, of course, the sidearm usually isn't very important for most class setups here, but this one in particular does need a little bit of explanation. So starting off here with the XRKL Super Barrel, basically we just get a little bit of extra damage range out of this. We want some 5mm laser. This doesn't really matter too much, of course. We're talking about really the ammunition here and the fully loaded perk. Basically, we want as many bullets as we can get with our ISO, so we want those 32 round mags for the maximum amount of shots, and of course that fully loaded perk as well gives us an awful lot of bullets to fire in our ISO. Of course, then we move to the EOD Ghost and Tune-Up perks. Tune-Up is a little bit of an interesting one that I've been using more recently because it is absolutely insane when you do combine this with the stopping power rounds. EOD for that explosive resistance, of course, and Ghost for staying off of those UAVs. But Tune-Up's the real star of the show recently that I found is very, very strong. C4, of course, in the lethal slot as an excellent piece of utility as well as a great killing tool. And the Tacticals, the Stim Shot, very, very strong here again. So of course, our attachments for the ISO are kind of interesting. Like, one of the things that does get interesting with the barrel here is, of course, it does block off the muzzle, which, again, we want that FSS Nightshade barrel. We do get the damage range, recoil control, bullet velocity, and sound suppression with this. Basically, this is like combining one of the better barrels. So, for example, the FSS Revolution barrel, while combining this with something like the Monolithic Suppressor, which is very, very cool. Like, we do get a great combination of statistics here. And this does make the weapon very, very effective at sort of those medium distances. It does sound great too, which is always a little bit of a plus with these weapons. Moving to our stock here, we want that ISO collapsible. With that movement speed and aim down sight speed, we're not too fussed about the recoil control drop that we do get from this. It does make it a little bit harder to hit some shots sometimes, and you can sort of counter this with like the Merc foregrip, but this is not too difficult to manage with the recoil, stuff like that. But if you are feeling that way, you can take the F-Tac Vagrant, as that does just give us aim down sight speed, and is another super strong option here. For our underbarrel, we want that Commando foregrip. I'm using this in replacement to the Merc foregrip a lot recently, that recoil stabilization, and actually a hidden stat here. We do get a little bit of extra recoil control with this as well for our vertical control, as well as that horizontal from that stabilization. Very, very powerful attachment here. Also doesn't reduce our aim down sight speed, which is very, very important for weapons like this. Getting these sights up nice and quickly is super, super important and very, very powerful in this game. Of course, if you do feel so inclined, you want to make those shots a little bit easier to hit, that Merc foregrip as well is very, very strong. Recoil control, hip fire accuracy for SMGs are very, very good, as well as about a 4% increase to our movement speed. So both of these options are very, very powerful, and you can pretty much choose whatever you do like the look of here. We also want that 50 round drum mag as well for, again, the maximum amount of bullets that we can fire. Magazine ammo capacity increase is very, very strong. Again, basically the ISO does start with a 20 round magazine, so having more bullets is always going to be beneficial. And with the attachments that we've chosen, we can sort of get a decent combination of movement speed, aim down sight speed, and a decent amount of bullets to fire as well. This also does combine very, very nicely with our field upgrade, which, as I said already, is the stopping power rounds. And I mean, you can take like Dead Silence as well as a sort of backup option, but stopping power rounds and the tune-up perk are very, very powerful. And lastly, that rear grip, that F-Tac Elite ISO grip for that aim down side speed, sprint to fire speed, your stippled grip tape stats, very strong on pretty much every weapon in this game. Like, I would not leave home without some stippled grip tape stats, of course. So we're basically just going to jump into some gameplay here with the ISO. It's a very fun weapon to use. It's a little bit different, and it does absolutely slap with the stopping power rounds. I know most weapons do very, very well with the stopping power rounds, including the AN-94, which is actually broken, like super, super busted. But we're going to talk about the ISO here in some gameplay right now. I feel like the ISO is pretty good. Like, it's never going to be one of the best SMGs in the game for sure. Like, that title is always pretty much going to be held by the MP5, but like, it's one of those things that you can always do a decent amount of work with. It's a weapon that's going to be reliable. You're going to do... That guy's sitting in my spot. You can always get a decent amount of kills with weapons like these. They have fast fire rates. I think it's got a fire rate of about 900 rounds a minute, which, with a relatively low bullet damage, is pretty standard. Like, but for the most part, we can do decent work with this. Like, it's pretty good. When we do chuck in the stopping power rounds, though, this thing absolutely stomps. Like, it's... I mean, most weapons are super, super strong once you add, like a 3-shot kill. You add, like, a 3-shot kill to most weapons in this game, and you'll get a decent amount of kills. Like, that's just pretty much how it goes. A little bit scared at the moment. I don't really want to be here. Yeah, I knew I was going to get pushed in the back. Because why would my teammates watch from behind? Like, tell me, like, why? So as we throw in our stopping power rounds here, I'm pretty sure it's a 3-shot kill. It feels like it a lot of the time. Like, it does feel like it does a lot more damage than usual. I'll just grab that tag and sneak inside. For the most part, we're just, like, looking to post up on this particular map. It's an interesting one. It's not super fast-paced. Like, it does have these big, long lines of sight. And for the most part, like, there's buildings on the outside. But, like, it's interesting. It's not the best map in the game, for sure. It's fun. Like, it's something a bit different, you know? People do camp in these buildings a lot, though. Like, a lot. I mean, that is partly my fault. People are looking for long shots in this game, and that is one of the best spots in the game to get long shots, so that does help. It's kind of my fault. Like, but whatever. Really loving all the changes they're making in the game at the moment. I should be, like, actually thinking about the game and, like, what's happening rather than just trying to talk, but, you know, that's what happens. The video would be very boring if I was just sitting here, just, like, not speaking, just getting kills. Ah, that's a teammate. Baited. There was a balance patch that did go out today that did also feature a buff. I haven't actually mentioned that yet, but this did get buffed. I think it was just like an aim down sight speed increase and maybe... I don't think any of the damage numbers got increased, which is where this weapon does really fall down sometimes, unfortunately. Like, just the damage numbers need to be a little bit higher. Come on. Man, I can't believe I forgot to mention that this got buffed. Like, that's stupid. You know, how is somebody on the enemy team going absolutely ham with, like, a VTOL? No! That better not have counted. Oh, for God's sake. We're gonna kill this man. He's gonna be waiting for us, and I'm sure he knows we're coming for him, but we're gonna kill him. No, maybe he doesn't know.
Hello, motherfucker.
Silly, man. Did he just hit him with a cinder block? What the hell? What a finishing move. Oh my god, I've never seen that before. Alright, the gunship is gone and we're on the flank around the back. If we can get in people's faces, we should be okay here. This map's just, like, kinda goofy. Like, just nobody moves. Like, nobody moves. Everybody is sitting in this building right now. We're gonna be able to get, like, a decent amount of kills here. Hello. No! I really should have been able to kill that guy. Like, that was pretty lazy of me. I noticed that we got the UAV and I was all hype and I'm like, that's just a UAV, get more kills, and then it died. Not great, but our flank worked there. Our flank did a pretty good job. There's going to be a guy on the left-hand side of the fire thing. Maybe. What is it about this game that, like, just everything that could go wrong to you does go wrong, but if it's the enemy team, no one on your team deals with anything that they've got going on? Like, if it was my VTOL and my gunship and stuff like that, they'd be shot down within about 0.01 seconds of them being in the sky. But because it's the enemy team, like, nobody on this team has anything to deal with it. I mean, of course, I could take some individual responsibility and do some of it myself, but, like, no. I don't want to. Oh, the double drop shot, let's go. Get me up here. UAV again. We're gonna keep pushing this way. Around the back again. Oh, what is that? What is this? Do we keep pushing this way? For sure. Oh my god, the timing on that. What ridiculous. Why would you run that way? Alrighty, this game is wrapping up here and was of course very disappointing because we played people who were better than us, which that happens sometimes. But man, like, I really do like this weapon and I can't actually, I'm a little bit annoyed at myself that I forgot that this got a buff today and I forgot to mention that at the start of the video, but like, you know, what are you gonna do? I gotta get these tags, bro, I gotta get these tags. Push up, bro, push up, we can still win. No! That's it. That's the L. That is the loss, boys. Alright, we'll have our final thoughts on this in just a second. So, what do we think of our ISO class here? Well, I think it's pretty good, like, with the most recent buffs that I didn't actually talk about in the start of the video, but did flash up on screen, as well as talking about in the actual gameplay. I think it's decent. But the problem with the ISO is its damage. Like, its actual damage per bullet is relatively low to the rest of the SMGs, and I know why. Like, it's a little bit disappointing, but I know why. Infinity Ward really cannot put out a weapon in a battle pass that is better than the MP5. Like, in terms of an SMG that's better than the MP5, they really just can't do it because that would make people say that the game's pay to win. Like, if they include one of the weapons in the battle pass, I mean, I know it's free, but like, you get it earlier, and then if it's busted, like, people pay to win and so on. It gets messy and people don't really like that. There would be complaints about this, but with the most recent buffs, like reducing the movement penalty for having that drum mag makes the drum mag very, very usable, makes it very, very strong. Like having that extra bullets to fire is very, very cool, as well as increasing the base ADS movement speed. That is nice as well. Like being able to move around a lot faster is very, very strong as well. But I just feel like the ISO could have used like 1 or 2 more damage on its bullets. Like just 1 or 2 more damage to make it like not a 5 to 6 shot kill. Like just make it a little bit better. Like anyway, the ISO is a lot of fun to use and I do enjoy using it. If you haven't already, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe with those notifications turned on, just in case you don't want to miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Lots of stuff coming up, very, very cool. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!